everyone, and welcome back to the post-credits. I'm Adelia, that's my buddy Brandi. We are here to discuss Happy's Place, Season 2, Episode 14, called Borrowin Trouble. Cheri Oteri was back. It was delightful.
I love Cheri Oteri. She's funny.
She's amazing.
I've been a Cheri Oteri fan since SNL.
Yeah. I used to actually watch SNL back in the days when Cheri Oteri was on it, so she's always been hysterical to me.
Mm-hmm. She's one of my favorites. I was glad she was back.
Yeah. We were trying to figure out right before we went on air if she's going to be back again. I feel like she's going to be, but from looking at her IMDb, it said 3 episodes, and I was like, oh, she's on another episode. But then I was looking at the episodes, and it says she was in episode 13. I don't remember her in episode 13 a couple weeks ago.
We would have said something.
Yeah. Like, we found out while we were doing our review of episode 13 a couple weeks ago that she was going to be in episode 14, and we got all excited. So I don't think she was in episode 13. I think IMDb has that wrong. But maybe she'll be in episode 15. We will find out.
But I do enjoy her.
She's so great. Monica Ulrich, Department of Health, badge number 168. I love that when she went to say it this time, they all repeated it.
We didn't know, because we knew she was coming back, but we didn't know when she was coming back or what she was going to be doing. But then when they were doing the speakeasy, I was like, oh, I wonder. And I had said it to you. I don't think I said it. I don't know if I said it on here or like in
I don't know if you said it on the show, but you'd said it to me. That was probably how Monica came back into the show, and it was.
I was right.
You were right.
Right. She comes in to do the inspection.
For the speakeasy.
Which
Isabella starts this episode just cracking me up because she's like barely moving a chair, steps back to look. Barely moves a chair in a different direction, steps back to look. And she's like, I can't tell which one of these says, I'm in a speakeasy and I'm cool, or whatever she said. And Bobbie was like, I'll tell you what it's not doing. It's saying, I'm a chair, I don't talk. Like,
that was funny.
I was laughing at that
Me too.
The first jump. And then they were talking about how Bobbie had the electrician come in over the weekend and do the lighting for the speakeasy, so the lighting was all done and Isabella was all happy.
Because Isabella was like, yeah, all we need to do left is the lighting, and then Bobbie's like, kink, and press the button, and she was like, oh!
Isabella is so into this speakeasy. She got the record player at a garage sale. She got this cool table at a garage sale, and these pillows. Bobbie goes, let me guess, a garage sale? And she goes, no, I got those on Etsy. Which was such an Isabella thing to do, I think. And then Gabby came upstairs and said something about the fuzz was here, trying to make it, all 1920s and speakeasy. But really she meant the health inspector.
Yeah. She said hide the, what was it? She said something to hide something.
Hide the booze, the fuzz is here or something.
Hide the hooch, something like that.
Something like that. But I don't know. Gabby was hysterical in this episode. She was also a little I don't want to say manipulative, because she was manipulative in a good way to get Steve and Takoda out of the pub, so the tavern, so that they weren't interrupting, as
because Steve
would take selfies for 40 minutes with the health inspector. But I feel like her doing that kind of curtailed any possible Bobbie and Emmett reunion this season.
Yeah. I was kind of sad about that.
I'm still so mad that they had them break up. But if they get them back together in season 3 or by the end of this season, I will be happy. I just don't think it's happening by the end of this season anymore.
No.
Because
it's going to be the will they, won't they.
It's going to be the will they, won't they. And
we know they're back for season 3, so they can prolong things.
Thank God there's a season 3. But I think that when we saw the end of the episode, we're just going to skip right to the end of the episode right here. When Monica is asking Emmett if he wants to go for a cup of coffee, and Bobbie goes, and Emmett, having just finished telling Steve and Takoda that talking ruined everything, and they had to encourage him to, if you don't think you and Bobbie are getting back together, you got to move on. And then Bobbie saying to him, you should have coffee with her, Emmett. She's a hoot. Like, my phone is, someone's texting me. It's just a lot for those of us who want Bobbie and Emmett to be together. I think they will get back to that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Emmett tries to move on with Monica at this point. If Cheri Oteri comes back next season.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little sad with that. I was like, no. Yeah. But so Monica comes in and she's like, she wants to get the help, but she wants to do girl time. She wants to hang out with them.
Yeah. Funniest gag ever. She's all serious and kind of monotone and stuff, and then she takes off the badge and she gets all like happy and her voice goes up, and it's a very funny gag.
I do like when, so she's like, oh, they're like, what are you doing here? Because she came early. She's like, you're not supposed to be here till Wednesday. And then he's like, oh, I came to give you this. And then she had the thing and she's like, she took it off. She's like, but I went girl time. Like,
yeah. She felt she had a great
rapport with everybody.
With everyone at there. And she wanted to have gal time. And Gabby had the very funny line of, was I working here then?
Was I here then? Yeah, was I working at this?
Just a lot of fun stuff. And so
she comes in to do the inspection, and I like when, so Bobbie's like, we're gonna get her out fast, because at first she didn't want them to have, like, Emmett's gonna be away, so Bobbie's like, okay, no talking. You got Gabby. Well, Isabella talks, likes to, stretch things out, and Gabby,
Isabella likes to talk about all the plans and the aesthetic and everything of the speakeasy, which is not a bad thing, but time consuming. Yeah,
time consuming. And Gabby, her name's Gabby, so and she's like, you can't be silent. She goes, yes, I can. And then they were silent.
You don't like silence.
She's like, somebody talk already.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. And then,
that was very funny.
Then they get the thing, okay, we're going to get Steve out, because that's why Steve's going to take 40 minutes. And they have an hour, because Emmett comes back at noon. And they wanted to get her out as soon as possible, because they didn't want them to cross paths at first. So she gets done with the inspection, and then she's like, okay, go. And she's like, now girl time.
While the inspection is going on, Gabby just starts like, she says, I'll let you know when I'm done. And then Gabby starts going, done. And then Bobbie's like, cut it out. Go stand over there. And she also at one point was starting to say stuff about the frozen tundra, because she said she had her ladder in her Toyota Tundra. And Bobbie's just like, shut up. Go stand over there. And then
I laughed because she's like, if you need help, I can give you a lift. And that's what she said. I have my ladder in my Tundra.
Yeah. And then Monica asks about the wood on the walls, and it's the original wood, and has been fireproofed. And Isabella starts going into the whole spiel about the fireproofing process, and Bobbie's like, and that was the story. And Isabella's like, well, there was actually more to the story, but yes. And then Monica goes to inspect the cooler or the fridge, I forget what she called it, behind the counter. And Isabella's like, it's a refurbished vintage, and like starts going into the whole thing again, and Bobbie's like, no. And that was really funny to me. And then she was done with the health inspection, and the badge came off, and that was gal time. And they're like, you were serious about that?
She was.
She was.
And then
so
they trying to get
they went
rid
downstairs.
of her. They went downstairs.
Yeah.
They were trying to get rid of her fast, and then she was like, she kind of felt it, you know. So she was like,
she was telling stories about funny things from her time as a health inspector, and so she asked them to tell her some funny stories about working there, and they're all like, "We don't really have any," which they do.
Yeah, working at a bar because there's always.
So she says she has one.
I did laugh because they're like, because he's like, my dad said this is a place where everybody knows your name. And like,
yeah.
Isn't this Cheer? I laughed because I'm a Cheers fan. So.
Yeah.
Wasn't
but
that also
she said Bobbie's Bobbie said that to Monica after Monica was tried to leave and said she had one more story for them, and that she doesn't have any friends, and she thought she could make some friends with the people there and all of that. And then she goes to go, and Bobbie stops her and tells her that line from Cheers that Happy always used to say, and she was like, well, Daddy always used to say that too, was here, and nobody should be alone there. And so she invites her to stay, and they get something to drink. I don't know what they ended up drinking in those mugs, because it wasn't like beer glasses or something. So just little like coffee mugs. And they're all sitting around talking about stuff when Emmett and Steve and Takoda come back. Now, Emmett, Steve, and Takoda had been at the fishing shack, which was hilarity. What?
My thing just went up, and my mom's moving, so I don't know if she's getting
okay.
I don't know if she's.
You can.
Yeah, she is.
Go if you need to. Okay, go if you need to. Yeah. So we'll bring Brandi back when she's back, but the Emmett, Steve, and Takoda were all at the fishing shack. Now Emmett goes to the fishing shack every Wednesday morning. We found out in this, but at the beginning of the episode, Steve had opened up an envelope which was actually addressed to Emmett with Mamma Mia tickets inside of it, and when Emmett showed up, he said, he'd bought those when he and Bobbie were together for them to go together. And so Steve asked him if he could buy them from him. And Emmett took the tickets back from Steve and said, just because I'm not going doesn't mean you're going. You can have them. And so it turned into this thing of Emmett is mad at Steve and Takoda, according to Gabby, because they told Isabella the secret that he had known about her existence. And Steve tries to pass it off as he should only be mad at Takoda because Takoda's the one that told Isabella. And that's not cool, Steve. That's definitely not cool. But Emmett should also have been mad at Steve because Steve's the one that told Takoda. So when they go to do the distracting Steve so he's not there for 40 minutes taking selfies with Monica and prolonging the health inspector visit, which is what we saw him do in the first episode that Cheri Oteri guest starred on, which was Mouse in the House. Gabby comes up with a plan to send Steve and Takoda to the fishing shack where Emmett will be, to keep Emmett there longer and to get Steve out of the tavern. So Emmett's at the fishing shack and things are fine and he's by himself, and then he all of a sudden hears someone outside and it's Steve, and he's like, what? Why are you here? Steve is not happy, by the way, about this fishing shack idea that Gabby came up with. And then Takoda tells Steve that, I don't think I've ever said this, but I think Gabby's right. And then Steve was like, I don't think I've ever said this either. I guess I'm going to a fishing shack. So they go to the fishing shack. Emmett lets them in. And it's Steve and Takoda comes right out with it. Gabby had tried to tell him, take your time, don't apologize right away, but Takoda comes right out with, we wanted to apologize to you. which is noble. Like, if you think someone's mad at you for something you did, you apologize. But Emmett says, I'm not mad at you guys, and he wants them to just leave. And Takoda's like, something's up with you, though. Like, I forget if it's Steve or Takoda that said that, but they were like, something's up with you, though. And so Emmett's like, yeah, I was enjoying peace and quiet, and now I'm not. But then, oh, Brandi's back. Welcome back, Brandi. I just got into the part at the shack where Steve was about to leave, but Takoda sits down at the table. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, oh, we're staying? Meanwhile, Steve's freaking out about fish and worms and
being at the shack.
What he says that you know, I look at what you haven't done with the place at one point, which was hysterical to me too. Like, Steve, it's a fishing shack. What do you expect it to look like? Mm-hmm. But he'd never been to a fishing shack, I'm sure. So you know, whatever.
Did you talk about how they got him there?
Yeah, I did. Very funny from Gabby, being like, just go talk to Emmett at the fishing shack. That's a little manipulative bit I was talking about earlier.
I like how she said, nobody's mad at me, and the way she walked out backwards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Steve is like, she's wrong, I hate her. Which was his response to that. But Takoda sits down, and so, like, they're there at the fishing shack with Emmett, and Takoda's Emmett's whittling some wood into something, and Takoda's trying to do the same, and Steve is doing something. He has found gloves from somewhere, because he's Steve. Probably brought them with him.
He probably had them.
For all we know.
He probably had them.
Yeah. And he is alphabetizing everything, or at least organizing it. He says he can't alphabetize it because he doesn't know what they are, and he's holding, like, fishing reels. Like, how do you not know what that is, Steve? But Emmett's like, seriously, I thought you being quiet wouldn't be annoying or trouble, but turns out you are. And he says, get out. And they end up talking to Emmett and being like, you know, what's up with you, man? Because we can tell something's up. And Emmett says, talking ruined everything. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what? What do you mean talking ruined everything? Mm-hmm. And he says, Happy told him about Isabella, and Happy died. Mm-hmm. And we don't know how soon after Happy died. It made it seem like it was pretty sudden, I think, after. And then he told Bobbie about it, because it was the right thing to do, tell Bobbie what Happy had told him, and that he'd kept it from her. And then Bobbie broke up with him. Mm-hmm. And so talking's the problem. And they, you know, made it very clear to him, you got to talk to people, man. You can't just keep it all in. And like, he really didn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. But eventually he did. And he said that he didn't think it hit him until the Mamma Mia ticket showed up. Yep. But he doesn't think he and Bobbie are ever getting back together. And I was like, no, don't do that to us.
I was like the same thing too. I was like,
yeah,
puppy dog.
But yeah. And then that's when they told him, like, look, if you don't, he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And they're like, you're going to move on because this is all you can do.
Yeah.
And then he gets back to the tavern and Monica's there, and they're just encouraged her to, you know,
put herself
try things and put herself out there. And so she asked Emmett, her old friend, Big E, to go have coffee with her. And Emmett looks over at Bobbie, and Bobbie's like, go for it. She's a hoot. Mm-hmm. And I just cannot help but think that's a signal to Emmett that Bobbie's like, okay, yeah, move on.
Yeah, except she wrinkles the paper after.
She crumples up the paperwork again afterwards, because she doesn't want Emmett to move on. She, like we established earlier in this episode, which we kind of skipped over, which Bobbie was shredding about Monica showing up again, because Emmett and Monica have this past friendship that made her uncomfortable the first time Monica came around.
Yep.
And now she's encouraging Emmett to have coffee with Monica.
Mm-hmm.
She's not happy about this.
No. But she didn't want to be like, you know, oh no, don't go out right in front of her.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
After she was just nice to her and telling her, you know, encouraging her, and then she decided to ask Emmett, and then Bobbie's just like, yeah, just go out with her. She's fun, you know? Like,
yeah.
And she really doesn't want
and
that.
And so they're going to a coffee place that keeps their espresso machine very, very clean, according to Monica.
Because she knows, because she's the inspector.
She knows.
Yeah. She's the health inspector.
And it ends with a little button before the credits of Steve coming into the tavern with Takoda, and Steve's like this. He's just like so excited about something, and we find out he actually went to see Mamma Mia. And I'm guessing he went with Takoda because Takoda's like, thanks for nothing to Emmett. Maybe he didn't go with Takoda, but I don't know who else Steve would go with, and there were 2 tickets.
Yeah, so. He said it was the best time of his life.
Best time of his life, yeah. So Steve, very happy about Mamma Mia. He's a huge ABBA fan, which somehow tracks for Steve. It does.
Listen, I love Mamma Mia. I've been to Mamma Mia shows, so.
I've never seen it or the stage show or the movies, so.
Well,
I do like some ABBA songs, though.
Yes, I've watched the movies and I've seen the show. I actually went with my cousins. Actually, my cousins and my aunt went to go see it because they knew I loved Broadway, so my aunt had surprised us with all the tickets, and I got to go when we went to in Providence, the PPAC.
Nice.
So we went to go see that. I love seeing Broadway shows.
Yeah.
I love going to New York City and seeing them. I might have seen Mamma Mia on Broadway. I might have seen it on Broadway too. I've seen so many. I might have seen it on Broadway also. Now that I think about that, I probably did. Which was, you know, Broadway shows are just amazing. Any show is amazing.
Yeah. Okay. We have a title and a synopsis for next week, because we will have another episode next week. We're done with all the breaks, and we're going through to the end of the season now. Episode 15 is called Emotional Real Estate. And it says, when Bobbie struggles to find the perfect buyers for Happy's house, Gabby has the solution and thinks of her mother, Val. Steve convinces Emmett that he should be dressing much nicer for his upcoming date with Monica.
So this should probably be there next week.
I don't know if she'll be there next week or if it'll be the week after, but it'll be interesting to see.
So it's going to be...
That's next week, next April 10th.
Which, I don't know if I'll be here. We might
not do the show on April 10th, but the show, Happy's Place show, will be on April 10th.
Yes, we'll, because I have a thing, actually, April 10th is a benefit for it's like family. It's my nephew's uncle whose wife had passed away, and they're doing a memorial benefit thing for her and him to help him with some stuff because they had a son who's 6 years old and nonverbal autistic. So I'll be going to that. I don't know how long it's going to be. So I might, if we do it, it might be a little later.
Might be a little later, or maybe we'll just
do it Saturday.
Do it on Saturday. Let's just do it Saturday. That'll be easier. Because then you can stay as late as you want and all of that. So.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be, and I don't know if Justin's working or not. So
yeah.
I'll be going with my cousin, but if Justin has to work, but yeah. So it's a benefit. So I forgot about that when you said the 10th. I was like, oh,
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Making plans on air. It's fine. So we will be back next Saturday, April 11th. We'll figure out the time. We'll tweet it out to talk about episode 15 of season 2 of Happy's Place. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel. We are 8 subscribers away from 1,100. Please get us there. We'd really appreciate it.
Leave us some comments.
Leave us some comments. What you thought about the episode. What you thought about Cheri Oteri being back. What this development with Emmett going on a date with Monica is going to be like. I don't know how I feel about it, but we'll see. Like the video. Share the video with your friends that also watch Happy's Place. We seem to be the only one doing Happy's Place reviews on YouTube, from what I could tell. So thank you to everyone who's been watching them. Really appreciate it. Do leave us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking of the show. And until next time, guys, we're out of here.
Bye, guys.
Bye.